Welcome back to the playoff edition of Jackals TV, and the Jackals will be playing their second playoff game of the first round here tonight. This is an August 15th game against the Fraser River Motorboaters, and that's a team the Jackals have a win and a loss against this year. Their one loss coming in overtime. Jackals won the first game of their playoffs 3-2 against the Screaming Pylons in overtime, so a win here tonight will put them through to the semifinals. Let's have a look at the lineup for tonight. 3 scratches: Gary Pabla, Darshan, and Rob all out of this game. Brad Haber called in to play defense as a spare here tonight to fill out the lineup. With that, let's head to the first period and see how this one goes. First chance of the game is going to go to the Motorboaters. This player is going to come in down the left. He loses the puck a bit, then pushes it back to that player, throws it on net. Then it rattles around in front of the net before Trevor is able to cover it up, keep it out. Down at the other end, we're going to see this a little bit later, so keep an eye open for it. But here's a terrible giveaway out front to Aaron. And as he shoots it, the camera pauses for a second, but it goes over the net and off the glass harmlessly. Here's Jay Lawrence retrieving a puck deep in his own zone. Watch that change on the bench. There you see the change being made, and the puck gets put up the wall. And as Daryl touches it there, John still has 1 foot on the ice, and the referee is going to deem that enough to call a too-many-men penalty. You remember John had a too-many-men penalty in overtime in the last game, and the Jackals were able to overcome that. So let's see what happens here on this power play. Motorboaters moving around it, gets thrown towards the net, and that just misses past the right post. There was a player there who took a swipe at it, couldn't quite tap it in, so the Jackals get lucky there. Here's another play where the puck's going to come out to the point, and as that gets bounced off the wall, it's going to come in off the left side here, and it's going to get tipped again, and again, it's just going to trickle by the post. We're going to have a look at this one on the replay, and you're going to see how that grazes just past the right post. So that's 2 excellent chances by the Motorboats on this power play, but they are unable to convert. Next, we see Brad shoveling the puck towards the net, and Daryl comes in, and he just can't quite reach the rebound. Here's the Motorboaters putting the puck up the left side of the ice, and you see Brad had pinched in, and now he's going to pick that puck up, twirl away from the player, then head up ice, and as he crosses the line, he's going to use that defender as a screen and rip the shot, and the goalie looks baffled as it goes flying past the blocker, and the Jackals have opened the scoring in this one. They have a 1-0 lead. Motorboaters looking to get that one back off an offensive zone faceoff. The puck's going to go around to that corner. It's going to get thrown up front, eventually find its way to this player out here who gets the shot. And then there's another loose puck that goes just past that right post. That's 3 times pucks have just trickled past that right post here in the first period. There's another great chance. There's a shot and a rebound, but Trevor stands tall to send it to the second period. Still 1-0. The Motorboaters only have 3 defense in this game, and you can see in this period that they're getting maybe a bit tired because there's a brutal giveaway. Chris Duhar gets a shot on net before bowling over the defender there, but the goalie does make the save. And now here's another chance with John working the puck along the wall. Aaron's going to get it behind the net. He saw Bob sneaking in, so he tried to throw it out in front to him, but Bob had retreated. But he does get it at the point, shoot it towards the net. Rebound comes out to John. He sweeps that on net. Goaltender makes a save. Still 1-0. Here's a play down at this other end. Watch Aaron as he circles through there, and the nasty banana peel makes its return in this game, sends the stick flying through center ice, but he's okay. Luckily, Banana Peel exits out of the building for the rest of this game. There's a turnover at center on that pass by Bob, but it's going to end up in Gary's feet, and then it's going to get knocked past him. That player's going to race past, go in on a breakaway, and a poke check there by Trevor, but then the puck goes past him, and that player, it looked like he had some space to knock it into the empty net, but he couldn't control it. Eventually, it can end up at the point again, and this player on the left side has a good chance of it, but he puts it up wide past the net. Motorboaters continue to look to tie this game here in the second period, throwing that point shot through on. It's going to eventually end up here, and then a shot high hits Jay right in the hand, and it bounces awkwardly towards Trevor, and then there's a puck battle in front of that. You can see Jay shaking his wrist out from getting hit there with the puck, but it works out okay for the Jackals. So now we're back to the offensive zone, and there's a move by Brad, and another move, and he moves in, takes a shot, rebounds there, and they clear it away, and then Gary Mazzuto pushes the puck back towards the middle of the net, and Jared gets 2 cracks at it. The first one saved, the second one goes through the goaltender's 5-hole, and off a strange broken play, the Jackals are now up 2-0. The Jackals are rolling now. Shortly after that, we see an offensive zone faceoff. Motorboaters put it on the wall, then push it back towards their own zone, and another turnover. Aaron picks that up, walks to the middle of the net, and puts it back on the short side over the goaltender's glove. And the Jackals have a 3-goal lead now off a couple of misplayed pucks by the Motorboaters. Motorboaters looking to find some offense, racing on the ice on a potential 2-on-1, but that player overplays it, and then when David's trying to pick it up, it gets swept right to the Motorboater player, who gets 2 good cracks at it, and then Bob, as he's coming around from behind the net, runs into the Motorboater player who falls down. That's going to be an interference penalty for Bob. So here we go to the power play for the Motorboaters, trying to get back in this one. Player gets that shot there, and the puck bounces up in the air after Trevor swats at it, and he catches it. Can of corn coming down from space, easy out, and the play is over. Penalty kill still happening. There's Brad picking up a puck off the face-off. He's going to race up ice, put it around that player, go in on the backhand. Goalie gets his stick or his pad down, and then the pass out front to Gary Mizuno, who has another great chance, and he tries to put that one low. The goalie makes another save. Penalty is now over, and here's another chance by Gary Mizuno. Nice read to intercept that pass. He's going to go in alone, make a move around that player, and he goes in and try and score, but he loses the puck, maybe because he had that defender's jock stuck to the end of his stick after making that nice move to get by him. Period winding down, but more chances here by the Jackals. Chris Stuhard, that chance alone in front, and then here's Johnny working down low with the puck, trying to get it out front. Couldn't quite get there, it's blocked, and Bob reaches in there to keep the puck in. Now watch as he's going to get it. He plays the puck. That Motorboater player drops his stick, and then that's going to get called a penalty by the referee, who thought it was a slashing, but he ends up calling it interference. And Bob gets a second penalty within a couple minutes. So we go to the third period, and the Motorboaters are on the power play, but that's not going to work out so well for them. As you see, Troy's going to get this puck, and he's going to launch it up ice. It gets tipped right to Daryl, who's in alone on a breakaway, takes a shot. They had some room 5-hole, but the goalie makes a save. So after another successful penalty kill by the Jackals, we see this chance. Troy picks up the giveaway, and he's walking in all alone on the breakaway, but he can't quite control that puck. It gets caught up in his skates, and he goes offside. And he's very sad as he goes to center ice. And we check in on some exclusive post-game footage of Troy walking home after the game. But before that, there's more game to play, and the Jackals have a lead in this game. Here's a nice play by Troy to make up for a nice little tip there on Bob's wraparound, and Daryl's going to pick that up in the neutral zone, go in, move around that defender, go in alone for his second breakaway, although that was a much shorter one. Again, try to go 5-hole, and again, the goaltender makes the save. Nice read by Brad here at center, picks that puck up, goes in on the right side, dangles around that guy, takes a shot up high, and then there's the rebound that Gary Mizuno is looking for. Pushes the goalie a little bit, trying to find the puck, but it also stays out. Still 3-0. Motorboaters have this puck deep in their own end, skating strangely and dangerously in front of their own net, and then this player is going to get choked off along the wall. Aaron picks it up, walks in, shovels it over to John, but it hops over his stick there on the backhand. And if we know anything about hockey, when you get a chance at one end, it can sometimes come back to bite you at the other. Here we see the Motorboaters going up ice, and they're going to shoot this puck eventually towards, miss the net, but it's going to hop out right to that player's stick who is coming in late. A bad bounce off the dashers, and the Motorboaters are on the board here. It's now 3-1. As you see that puck just go under Trevor's blocker there, he almost prevented it from coming out to that player, but still 3-1 lead for the Jackals. And the Motorboaters directing this point shot on net. The rebound comes to Bob, who sweeps it up ice, and Jer's going to pick that up. He's 1-on-2, so he's delaying to allow for players to catch up. There you see Lloyd coming off the bench, as well as Gary Mizuno, and Gary Mizuno's got the third layer there, and he gets the pass on the backhand, handles it over to Jer, who shovels it on the glove side up over the goalie's glove, and the Jackals have restored this 3-goal lead with about 4.5 minutes left here in the third period. It's now 4-1. The Jackals have blown a 3-goal lead to this team earlier in the year and did lose in overtime, and so they remain vigilant as this clock winds down. Here we see Stuart put this puck towards the net, and it bounces right to Aaron, who shovels it at the goalie, but it's into the goalie's guts, stays out. A couple minutes left in this one. A semi-dangerous pass there from Troy across the middle, but it works out because it's going to end up on Daryl's stick, and he's going to go down the right side on a 2-on-1. He looks at Jay, but then he decides to shoot off the post hard and into the corner, but it won't matter. The Jackals did keep the pressure on and end up winning this game 4-1. And the Jackals go undefeated in their first round playoff games. Let's have a look at the stats for the day. There you see Jer with his 2 goals, Brad with the goal and assist, and Gary Mizuno with 2 assists here on the day. Trevor, another excellent outing with only 1 goal on 30 shots in on goal. So we'll have a look at the team stats after 2 games. There you see Brad at the top of the table, 3 goals and 1 assist for 4 points in the 2 games he's played. Rob up there, and Chris Marshall too, despite only playing the 1 game. But you see a contribution from a large list of players so far here in the playoffs. So let's have a look at how the playoff games played out in the first round. There you see the Royals, the 6th place team, winning their side of the pool, and the Jackals, the 5th place team, winning their side of the pool. And you see at the bottom of the table there, the Hellfish and the Motorboaters going on to win their 2nd game, allowing them to advance through to the semifinals as well. So let's have a look at the remaining schedule for the playoffs here in the 2025 Summer League. There you see the semifinal matchups. The Royals will be taking on the Motorboaters, and the Jackals will be taking on the mighty Hellfish, a team they have yet to beat this year, so they'll have a bit of an uphill battle to try to make that game, the final game there you see at the bottom on Friday, a 1-game championship after a couple of 1-game semifinals. And we'll be there for it, so we'll see you Thursday and hopefully Friday.